Boom. Hi.
Hello.
Incredibly slow today. So I've been like, hey, I'm going to press this button. Oh no, that's the end stream button. Maybe not this one. but so beware if I press the wrong place, the wrong button today. It's not it's not about you. It's nothing personal. Santiago, how are you?
Doing
How was
great.
the
What about
chat?
you?
Better.
Better.
I spent most of the weekend and a big part of last week to try and wake up because I was incredibly tired and sleepy. And I don't know. You said you suspected that you had COVID. Maybe I had something as well. I don't know. It was
Yeah, it was
like
hard, man.
the whole week I was on the verge to having a cold, but not really. Kids were coughing, right? So I was like, maybe. COVID is never fun. Prince Paradox, you were right.
I hate when I get fever because I tend to hallucinate whenever I have it. It's the worst.
Mm.
I, it's the worst. I hate it.
So you don't need psychedelics then.
No,
That's a good thing.
I don't really need them. I already know how it is, the feeling.
Just a little bit of fever. I remember once when I had really high fever as a kid. That was the one time when I was really hallucinating, like really, really, where things were coming out of the walls and stuff. But that's been so long. My my few COVID episodes. Oh, Broken Dolls is here. Look at that.
We
Hello.
got a winner of the poll, if I'm
So
not
not
wrong.
that I wouldn't welcome everybody else, but Broken Dolls is a very rare occurrence here. So hi, Broken.
Hey,
Mm,
brother. I loved he was, if you don't know, he was all over on social media trying to get people to vote for him for the next season. So he gets whitelisted.
Broken definitely deserves it. I mean, it's. I'm actually surprised that didn't happen earlier, but it's definitely great to have you on.
I 100% voted for Rogan.
We met Broken and obviously others back at the Nefty event in Amsterdam in, oh my goodness, was that 2021 or 22? I don't even remember.
That's cool.
Um, but that was a really cool event. There were like, how many people were there? 50 maybe? Not many, but really cool folks from the wax community. Um, but this was, yeah, about, come on, that must have been 2021.
It was the same one in
No.
which they announced the Ultraman drop. Is that?
Oh, then this Ultraman, no, this, yeah, that, well, Atomic weren't there, right? So it might have been 2022, right? I think it was 2022 because this was shortly before. I think this was shortly before FTX happened. Um, and because I remember after Amsterdam, I went to London for Token 2049. And during Token 2049, there were massive strikes in London, so nobody could get to the venue or from the venue.
Oh,
But also FTX happened like this week when so everyone
that
was
same
sitting
week.
over dinner like super depressed. And yeah, I still remember a bunch of wax people there as well. We were sitting there, everybody's looking at the charts. Wax hitting like 4 cents. Wax is at 4 cents. We got used to wax being at 4 cents, right? Kind of. Now we're at 6 cents, and we're like, hooray! But Amsterdam, that was 21, really, guys? Oh my god, I have such a bad memory.
Right now it feels like Wax has been on 5 cents forever.
Well, 5 cents would have been good for most of this year.
What was our lowest point? 2 cents?
2.8, something like that, I guess, this year.
That was very low. Very, very low. I need Wax to $1. It won't happen. I do hope it gets a little bit of traction, but $1 is almost impossible.
That event was in Hilversum, right? Yeah. Wax to $1. Yeah, wax to $1. I mean, come on. The only thing that can make it happen would be if we had some really successful. We briefly discussed that last week, right? some really successful version of pump.fun on Wax.
Yeah, we discussed about it. I remember.
Hmm. I don't know
Yeah,
whether Coney was there because I didn't meet Coney there, but I met quite a bunch of other people who are still in the Wax space. So
pesos starts loading up for Amazon e-commerce. I mean, Wax will be great. The way that we have set up tokenization, it's good.
well, yeah.
I mean,
But
we have the
Jeff
best in.
Bezos and Wax, really? You think that's gonna
I
happen?
don't really think it will happen. Santiago looks different today. I was looking at myself as well. I don't know what is going on. Maybe it's in my hair. My hair.
It's your lighting.
I'm like brown niche. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this whole blockchain offered by AWS. I mean, it's not really offered, right? There's yeah, you can run a node easily there. Prime has given out NFTs on Wax before, so that mostly benefited brawlers, I believe.
There? No.
Um,
So it was with Prime Gaming. The problem is that sometimes the companies are so big that Amazon can do its stuff, Prime Gaming can get their deals, and Amazon doesn't even know that Wax exists. There are still some stuff. For example, we have the partnership with Amazon Cloud, said. Oh, Amazon Web Services. So yeah, there's
which is
some
the
stuff,
cloud
which is the cloud, yeah.
provider.
So we're there along with Ethereum and Solana, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I would love to see if something has come out of it. Not sure.
But yeah, I mean, in the end, you need um, focus by a lot of money, right? And at this stage, I mean, there's so much competition on layer ones and layer twos, right? So any of the large partners would typically go because they know that they have that influence. They would typically go where there's a lot of other money and backing, right? Why would they do something risky to go to a top 200 chain, whatever, right?
I don't
If
think
they can,
we're even top 200. Last time I checked, we were top 230.
yeah, give or take, right?
Your smile.
But uh, if you're Amazon, if you're Jeff Bezos, obviously everybody just rolls out their red carpets for you, or they could easily just run their own chain, right? I mean, they could fork, they could work on an EOS fork, right, on an Antelope version, whatever. Um, there's yeah, they have a lot of choices. Had a chance to check out Layer Zero and or IOTA. I honestly Layer Zero I checked a few months back, so that's
IOTA.
looking decent overall, right? IOTA, to be honest, I have no clue what's been going on over the last 3 4 years.
I was about to say that the last time I heard about IOTA was 4 years ago.
I mean, I still remember my early blockchain Berlin days, right? So 2017, when they had raised a lot of money, they were hosting some events. So that was still kind of good times. But after that, yeah, I mean, things happened. Tech wasn't there. So I don't know. I heard that they had some news, but I didn't really even read into this. Don't give Jeff ideas. Jeff
He's
doesn't
watching
need
the screen.
me
The screen.
to give him ideas. Hmm.
It's the product, not the token. Look at Funko. They don't even mention Wax. They use the IP. If the product is good, the blockchain is transparent. I always said that the blockchain should be a tool, and if the company behind it feels the obligation to support Wax, then the blockchain is not really being a tool but a burden. So it's not responsibility of any company to try to actively engage or increase the price of Wax, but they should rather focus into improving their own product. That's my idea. That's my take. At least it's the same with Polymarket. Polymarket has been doing great on Polygon, has brought lots of volume. But do you know how much in fees they have generated? For Polygon by itself, with all the transactions, $22,000 because transactions are so cheap. So it's very interesting to take that into account.
What's this? Isn't DP hurting it? DP.
Drop said.
Ah,
No, I don't think
yeah,
so. I mean, first,
drop.
if,
Yeah.
if you're, yeah, so first they are a company. They have to take profits. Second, they use a lot of resources to stake wax, and they buy wax to stake wax, so they can afford all the transactions that happen on their end. So I think it is a net positive. Bad
Yeah,
choice
totally, totally. I mean, there's obviously also trading volumes outside of the drop
trading
platform going
volumes.
on, right? That's which is also good. There's overall kind of the fact that there is a major brand IP on Wax is also a very good argument in general, right? So it's able to power that. What I think like the problem is you need the direct exposure um, to the native token in order for that to actually work, right? If it's totally transparent, just like you said with Polymarket, for instance, right? So if it's totally like you don't see, you don't use the blockchain, like really, you don't need to hold a lot of native tokens, then there's no reason why the native token should go up, right? So I think Solana is a really, really good example right now. Because literally there's so much sol locked in all these liquidity pools
Yeah.
um, for pump.fun tokens, right? So if you look at whatever uh, Peanut, right? There's like what $20 million in locked liquidity. So there's at least 10 million in locked sol, right? And those sol can only be taken out by basically dumping the token to almost zero. Right?
Yes.
That's the only way. And the token is not going to go to zero, obviously.
And it will happen. There will always be residual money.
So all the sol is there, and it keeps accumulating because as long as people are trading, more and more of the sol that goes through the liquidity pool will remain there forever because liquidity is burnt, right? So that is really really cool. There's going to be ongoing demand for sol, so that's also a reason why it's going to just keep going up. Sorry, keep going up. IOTA totally switched the management in the last years. A lot of drama. Now tech is there. Shimmer is the staging network. It's getting more decentralized. Finally, smart contracts of EVM and MoveVM are now supported. A lot of good use cases are getting built, like KYC and RWA. Well, it's finally usable. 5 years into 7 years into all the promises.
That's the
Still remember discussions with IOTA folks back then. It's like, hey, how do you get rid of the central coordinator because this is not decentralized, right? They're like, yeah, we're going to get there.
wearing it.
Wait for it.
I mean, right now with so many chains that are coming out and with so much technology that is around, I wonder why will someone choose to build on these chains that have base problems that have already been solved by the current chains that are soon to release or already released.
Incentives. That's why,
Yeah,
right?
I mean
You
that
pay
will be
them.
one reason. If you compare Solana to Ethereum, which this is annoying, but right now Solana is outpacing Ethereum. Why would you
But
build something this time? I'm not talking about a layer two, but why would you build something on Ethereum when you can do it on Solana and you have the same access to liquidity, the same access to the smart contracts and in Solidity and so on? How long did it to get good? Uh, yeah, true.
um, did it take? It has been taking, right? It's like it's still going on. It's still ongoing. There is Ethereum layer one. I mean, is not good,
It's
right?
terrible. The other
Um,
the other day I was trying to redeem $50 from an airdrop that I received, and the transaction cost was 70. And I was like, well, I guess I don't have the money for it.
um, so yeah, it's it's crazy, but that just proves that it's not about the best tech, or it's not about the usability. This is a fad essentially. ETH sucks, yeah, right. And I mean, actually, Polygon also sucks a lot of the times, right? It's like the RPC nodes aren't responsive, whatnot. It's really bad, right? But it's still one of the bigger networks. But I mean, maybe for Polygon, it's the performance has shown, the token price performance has shown that the tech isn't 100%. But if that was an indicator, then Sol should be like really low, right? And Wax should be really high. But that's not what it's all about, right? It's about where people put their bets. People with a lot of money. Okay. That's a good question by Webby, actually.
Shall we start?
Shall we start?
First question. I'm very direct.
Your question.
Wait.
Like, what's your first question? What's your
The one
first
that
question?
is the first one by Mr. Nobody.
Yeah, when play.
When play.
There was a bunch of others. Tukui asking any news about play very, very soon, right? Next Tavern, see you guys. And there was Brent asking, can we expect a snapshot info this week? And Webby is asking something very, very, very specific about play. Okay, let's go into play, because you know you want all the answers, and it's getting close to Christmas now, right? So overall, we're trying to get the snapshot date out to you this week.
Did you hear that, guys?
Still a little bit of a discussion. Some people have heard about an indication already, right? We're trying to get together some feedback around. No, where are Gareth? I'm saying trying. Why I say try way too often. We're gathering some feedback on kind of comms plan regarding that, and how to announce it, where and how to play this, pun intended. So there's really a lot of little wheels moving right now when it comes to that. A lot of really cool people who are really interested to come on board. So I think it's going to be really exciting as soon as we kind of start dropping the bomb, right? Just a tiny little bit more patience. Tukui, I believe that you won't have to wait until next week's Tavern to come back. So that's that. There was this question by Mr. Nobody. Will you change the name of Atomic Hub to Playmind Hub, or you still want to make everything and nothing? Wombat app from Google Store will change name to Play, or will it be changed? So right now, Playmind is the name for the protocol that will run kind of the AI-related data exchange and anything related to collecting data and using data to train AIs that can be used in gaming, right? We haven't thought so far. Our line of thinking was not that we would change the brand name of Wombat, right? It's a well-established brand. We didn't think that it should be called Playmind or whatever. Playmind, Hub, Playmind. No, Hub would probably be a suggestion for Atomic Hub, Playmind app, whatever, right? That hasn't been part of our kind of branding considerations. With Atomic Hub, it's kind of similar. We're constantly considering where to take this. One nice twist, I think, in Playmind is that in the Playmind protocol is that eventually things like data sets, but also agents, right? If you have an agent that you've trained and you want to offer to others, those might be represented as NFTs. So they could be handled like NFTs. This is kind of a further down the line part of the vision, right? That we make all these parts basically fully on chain as well, right? And therefore NFTs would be a really good way of representing them. Um, it's not kind of what's on the forefront of all kind of line of thinking there, though, right? But if that happens, I could imagine there being a Playmind marketplace, right? Whether that would be straight up Atomic Hub, um, rebranded, or whether that would be a separate kind of front end, um, I would keep that open at this stage, right? But I think
That's interesting.
it's an interesting thought, and I really like the thought of essentially making um, making assets that are moving within the Playmind ecosystem, within the Playmind protocol, make those into NFTs and make them tradable like that. Okay, so that's that. Um, so I guess I answered this by Shoko Crypto as well. Um, I take off my pants and jacket. Big questions only today. Why is Atomic Hub down so much? I thought we had some on weekends now to fix someone on weekends now to fix problems. Truth is, this already started. This was nothing related to the weekend. This actually started before,
On
and we
Thursday,
had somebody, yeah, something like Thursday, I guess. And we are like, it's not down. It's just for whatever reason, our nodes are taking incredibly long to sync, right? So they run out of sync and then they resync. So it's okay for a while, or you basically catch up with the data, and then you see all the stuff displayed, and then it runs out of sync. And we are still looking into the reasons for that because there's no inherent problem, right? We used to have hardware problems, so we switched the hardware. So like there's always a lot of things to be considered, but this so far has been really weird that this is on and off, right? Sometimes we're in sync, sometimes we're not. We run out of sync again, and it's like it takes 20 minutes to catch up with the syncing, and then it's okay, and it's okay for a while, and it's not okay. So we're looking into this. It's kind of really always something. I don't know why.
it's annoying, I know, because I even try to use inventory, try to transfer NFTs, and I know how you feel, guys, because it's stressing like holy shit. And when Atomic Hub is your main page to do all these transactions, then you always struggle because you are like, holy, then I have to go to other page to make this transfer. And overall, this should never happen, but it is stuff that can happen, and we're looking to get a definite solution for it.
Um, okay, I missed a bunch of um, questions. Oh man. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up because I've been talking so much.
So I will reply
Um,
to a couple of comments
we
then.
should we should vote Zola into Overlord. Go
I
ahead.
saw that comment and I was about to say then I will boost Gems collection. But then immediately after, Kevin said he will boost the Gems collection.
Zolord.
No, I mean, every time I laugh, it is because I read a comment and I find it funny. But I don't want to interrupt Adrian, so I just laugh.
Hmm.
If someone wants to go for the key, I will be happy to fight for the right price. You see, guys, you have a chance there. So we realized the problem this, and we should have seen this, is that when we enable the Airborne Invasion shop redeem, we didn't implement, but we're already working on it, implementing a bulk buy feature. Because I know how annoying it will be overall for people in mobile that they are using it, signing the transaction 100 times, 200 times to be able to then sign more transactions for the blame redemption.
But
So
who
if
has that many resources, dude? I don't know.
100
Like,
Ergon Visions, I think a lot of people can buy 100 Ergon Visions.
what?
Or even
Really?
10. Yeah.
And yeah, I get that. That's annoying already. But 100? Mm. So this got mentioned to Matt and Ziva already. Is the Polygon unstaking problem going to be fixed before season 22 starts? I'm not aware of this problem, but hopefully
Meaning,
you are, Santiago.
no, I haven't been told about any staking problems. Maybe can you tell me more about it? That
I guess Discord should be fine, or you ask Matt.
Yeah, for sure. You can send me through Discord, and we will go through it.
On this little sheet, I says we need a Pets of Wombat collection.
That's because my dog was barking. My dog is very annoying. I don't know. He has like a he feels whenever I'm talking, and he goes to bark. I don't know why.
It's almost like my kids. Whenever you want to talk to somebody else, they go like, "Hey, give me attention." Um, but maybe that's a thing, like Pets of Wombat. I mean, we do have sidekicks, but maybe I don't know what I would do, but we could definitely find some usage for pets as well.
Pets. I like it. I mean, we could consider sidekicks pets.
So this one is a good one by Webby. When changing the play tokens, there any chance trees can be paid out now? Otherwise, we will need to unstick during season. You're right. Let me see what we can do. I mean, we would have to announce it very quickly, but actually, it's not that we forgot about it. It's just that we didn't think about that kind of dependency to the season. So I'm thinking, because you all want your tokens and you don't want to unstick during season, and it's definitely going to be within a season. So yeah, let me see what we can do there. Just need to make a note. That actually makes sense. So Robot has been asking about Dungeon Worlds. 3 weeks left in 2024. Any updates this year? We're still working on it. As sometimes it does, things take longer. Still planning to release something very, very soon. Red Scorpion is asking, got more victory wombations for season rewards. Any news on the victory blend?
Did you offer anything for the victory blend?
Yeah.
What
Because
has been speculated about the victory blend?
that's speculated. We said that we would because when we started handing out victory wombations for the top 15, I believe top 15 clans every season, right? So in order to create a motivation for clans to actually compete, they're basically just stakeable. There's nothing else you can do with them, right?
Okay.
So then we said, okay, wait for it. There's going to be something cool that you can do with your victories, something kind of exclusive that you can do with them, right? Not exclusive, but something there like a blend maybe that you can't get from something else, from anything else. I had some ideas jotted down about that. It's just that you and I have never spoken about it, like for real.
Yeah.
So we should do that, and then there should be like, because Santiago has this habit of basically just getting things done, right? It's very annoying that basically things just happen with Santiago when you discuss things, right? So it's obviously not annoying. I'm joking.
No, no problem.
So as soon as you know about the Victory Wombation blend, you'll basically just do it. I
I just
totally
noted.
believe.
Yeah.
So hit me up on that next time we speak.
Okay, I'll hit you up in an hour.
Um, Lucked Out is asking, can we get the mob meme coins a spot market pairing with wax? Currently only have the LP on Alcor, which is making the token fairly illiquid. Um,
On Alcor, is it? I thought it was an FT.
well, yeah. So the LP on, yeah, right. It's the LPs are an FT, and there is some people providing on Alcor and on Taco. Um, and well, I don't think that we can. I mean, I don't know how much creating a spot market pair on Alcor right now is. It's like what, 200 wax, 500 wax.
500 wax, but we can make it free. No problem.
Look at that.
I have contacts. No.
Santiago and his connections to Alcor. Yeah, I mean, definitely that can happen. We can do that. We can help with that. But I honestly don't think that's going to change a lot because um, the spot market requires active market making, right?
Yeah,
And there's
I
no
don't
market
really.
makers. So even for
Yes.
one bet, most of the time we have massive spreads because nobody's making the market on Alcor spot.
Actually, I would advise against doing a spot, creating a spot with such a low liquidity. I would love for a pair to be created at 1%. So there's actually some incentives into providing liquidity. At 1%, the LPs generate a lot and they are very successful whenever there is low liquidity for any pair.
I mean, yeah, but in the end, the tokens have what? Let's look this up on Wax and Edge, like $7,000, $8,000 in market cap each, right? So it's totally normal that there is very little liquidity, right? And I think that even given the, yeah, given the market cap, I'm looking at Blue Whale right now. So let's just share that, right? Just a second. Um, uh, so there's a $7,000 fully diluted valuation, and we have 4,400 cumulated pair liquidity, so a $2,000 TVL on the cash side against Blue Whale, right? On the wax side, kind of.
Not bad.
That's actually really, really, really good liquidity. So that
Yeah.
means that essentially, hmm, pretty much a third of all the token supply is held by liquidity pools, right? So I think that's very, very decent liquidity. The problem is not the liquidity. The problem is the size of the token, right? So that just means you all need to buy more tokens, and then the liquidity is going to be fine, right? That's all that means. So yeah,
You could
I mean,
create a
Zoller is
farm.
the
Team of leaders could create a farm. There are a lot of ways to incentivize providing liquidity.
but again, there can't be that much more liquidity because all the tokens are already in there, right? They need to get out of there. There needs to be more wax in there, right? Or but there needs to be more wax in these tokens altogether.
I think the issue is that people is trying to use only the Alcor pair, so maybe they are not taking advantage of the NFT liquidity that is left.
And that's a bit annoying because there's no front end to trade on Nifty outside of Wax on Edge, right? So you can always trade small portions, then it's going to be arbitraged out against the other pools, and then you can, which actually increases trading volume overall, which is also cool, right? So you can buy in chunks of 10 wax on Alcor, 20 wax, something like that, and then you can do this or Taco, right? If there's little liquidity, um, but in general, yeah, people should provide more liquidity, but also people should just buy more tokens.
Yeah,
Uh,
the Wax on Edge works as an aggregator, but if you're doing the swap through Alcor, then Alcor only queries and does the swap through their own liquidity pools. So it doesn't include either Nifty or Taco.
Clan pets. Clan pets. Um, Delta clan pet sneaks to bombastic clan and steals a bunch of gold. Okay.
That sounds cool.
Okay.
Any changes to the well this season? Not.
Yeah,
We're
that
the new season starting. Yes, we can do some changes there, as we always do. Oh fuck! I need to do those changes. The season is this Wednesday. Oh my god.
you're correct. Okay, honestly, the cheat I said is bringing up the KYC topic again. I saw the drama in Dungeon Master over the weekend where someone that was accused of multi and banned from everything came back and was playing in the newbie pool until he messed up and gave his old wax wallet to Matt for a prize.
Yikes. Sorry, it is funny. Like take all this time like to go unnoticed and then win a prize and get busted in this way. Yikes. I don't really think we need a KYC. If you need rain.
What's your take on this? Come on, give it to me because you and I haven't really been talking about this. So because I've been always vouching kind of against KYC, not because I'm lazy. We do have KYC providers who can work with, right? This can be done in a well financially reasonable framework. Say just for people who earn more than X, right? But what's your take on this? You just said you don't want KYC, so
Yeah. I
give
mean,
it
first,
to the folks.
when have you seen on any Web 2 or Web 3 game a KYC implemented? In none. Why is that? It's because, first of all, it is annoying. If I see, and people do not see KYC in the best way as possible, I try to take care of my personal data in a way that I provide it to the person that strictly needs it. I don't want to give away my KYC to a game to play League of Legends, to play Counter Strike. I don't want to.
Uh,
It will,
you know,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't give my KYC to any game.
uh, I mean that's correct, but I mean in most Web 2 things where you can earn money, you have to KYC whenever you want to cash out. My bigger
Uh,
problem is if we did KYC, at least upon cash out, we would also have to restrict that to players from well unrestricted countries, right? Because then we knew kind of where you're from, and if we know where you're from, then we can't give you tokens if you're in one of the countries where we're not supposed to give you tokens, right? And I don't want to say which countries these are because there's definitely compliance issues with even giving tokens to Americans up
or
until now. Let's see what happens on the 20th of January. But so far, it's been a problem that yeah. So we checked back in the day whether we would need KYC for what we do, right? And for our legal counsel said no. But like, what else? I mean, what else is there? Because it's something that some applications actually do. So it's not inconceivable that you would do that. But is there other kind of more philosophical aspects to this from your perspective outside of it just being annoying, or is there something more practical that you would definitely lose people, right? Who don't KYC? Is there other verification methods that come to mind where you say, hey, maybe it's not KYC, maybe it's a liveness test, right? So KYC would typically involve everyone showing a passport. Some people don't have a passport. Um, some people don't have the means of doing KYC, like having a proof of address, for instance, right? Do we need a proof of address? No, we actually don't, right? What we would need is essentially a liveness test where we would find out that a person who has registered already can register another time. We don't need your passport. So it's not kind of real KYC in that sense. But is there alternatives that come to mind in order to, or how do you solve this problem that on this little sheet I said is asking about?
I mean, we already take some measures, as you know. Every start of the season, every end of the season, we take a look at some wallets. We take a look at the IPs, and we make sure that they are not using the same IP for over 5 accounts. We already had this problem once, so we do take measures. I don't really think that it is like, hey, we implement KYC, then if we don't implement KYC, then we shouldn't do anything else. No, there are measures that can be taken. They are effective. They are not 100% effective, but it helps you to, in sort of a way, to filter shameless abusers of the system. Now, there are a couple of people that can go through and can avoid being noticed by the system, but that's something that we also need to figure out once, how to correct this issue, but not really like to change everything and implement a KYC. It will just detain small users and new users to come to the game. No one likes to KYC.
Um, okay, I mean, we can. There's a lot of follow up on the KYC debate here that we could have, right? Because there's a lot of well, proponents and opponents of it. Some people saying why pay out prizes whatsoever if you don't KYC people. Others say it's Web3, dude. If I have to KYC, I don't touch nothing, right? So I don't know. I mean, Uniswap doesn't KYC you, right? So it's kind of difficult.
It
Mr.
also
Nobody.
depends what you consider KYC, because know your customer could be a lot of things, but the most known thing is giving up your ID, and so you verify that you're a human and your identity.
Yeah, so there's multiple parts, right? So
Yes.
there's the liveness check that is always part of a KYC. Are you a real human, right?
Yes.
And the second part is can you identify yourself as the person who you pretend to be using a passport or an ID? And then there's a third thing. Sometimes it's an address check, an address verification, right? So you have to submit something as a proof of address. And then there's a fourth thing. It's a kind of an even stronger KYC method is video ident, right? Video identification. So you sit in front of another person and you talk to them and you move your head around and you whatever, right? I mean, it's not
Blink
that much of a
twice.
thing anymore since the AI based verification methods have improved, so you don't need a human necessarily, but it's still a thing with banks for sure because they have that as a requirement, at least in the EU. So yeah, you can go on the scale, you can go up and down and left and right, right? Okay,
Okay.
let's move on. You once mentioned that the problem of not being listed on exchanges like Binance is that they want too much money from you, which I don't want to believe. But if so, could these 10 billion tokens be used as gifts for exchanges to add play to the listing? I'm only writing about serious large exchanges like Bybit, Kronos, probably like Crypto.com, Binance. Is there a possibility of voting on this before play is listed? Well, the first thing is you need to qualify there, right? So there's a massive difference in the listing process on an exchange like well, Bybit or Binance. Actually, Crypto.com is somewhere in the middle, where they are trying to be as compliant as possible, or Coinbase or Kraken. Nowadays, it used to be totally different, but nowadays they're trying to be compliant in terms of the process of listing application is transparent and fair, right? um, I don't want to talk too much about kind of the ins and outs of how the financial deals are structured with some of these exchanges, because a sometimes it's a deal by deal thing, but also b I don't know what of that is a secret and might have us be fall out of grace with some of these exchanges, right? When we say things um, that are not supposed to be public, right? Like if we say that publicly, obviously we can have a discussion about that in private or whatever. Um, so it is a cost thing in many respects, because some of them are basically straight up asking a lot of money, like cash, um, not tokens. And you can't typically bribe them with tokens unless you're a really, really hyped project, right? And with hyped, I mean, let's just think about kind of the business of an exchange. How do they do their business? They make their business with trading volumes, right? Even if they sometimes ask, especially in bull markets, ask for a lot of listing fees, whatever, that's actually like asking for listing fees is already non-compliant, right? Because if you as a token holder, as a token issuer, sorry, pay for a listing, then you're essentially declaring this an investment instrument, right? So you shouldn't have to pay to get listed, right? There shouldn't be no listing fees. So typically, what they do is they say listing is for free, but you have to provide a marketing budget, and that's non-negotiable, right? So you get the listing for free, but you have to buy this marketing package or whatever it's called. And this marketing package can then entail cash or tokens or both, right? So this is how it typically works, right? So there is no kind of straight up listing fee because that's not compliant, but there's just a marketing package or whatever it's called, advisory package or whatever that you have to, and that can be it can range from very little, a few thousand, up to a few millions, depending on the exchange and the reach and so on, right? But in the end, what they all want is ongoing business, right? So they want a lot of traders. So they want to see, hey, there's going to be a lot of volume for those. And maybe not just volume, but there's also a large community of potential traders that can bring, right? So there's a qualification process where you first have to show, hey, this is what we're doing, this is who we are, and we would like to get listed. Do you agree? And then only once you're through that, then you can basically get insert money or tokens to actually get into the exchange, right? And with some exchanges, that's not a problem at all. They basically just list you if you pay, right? And others have um, very strict requirements, and they say, okay, if you're not at least a 200 million market cap, then we're not listing you. If you don't have at least 100 million daily volume, we're not listing you, right? So you can see that. I mean, we spoke about Chill Guy, right, from Pump Fund, right? Chill Guy is not even listed on Binance. This is not a money issue here, right? Because it's a 400 million dollar market cap token. So probably whoever is running that might have made their cut, so they could probably pay for it, but they need to be accepted by Binance to be listed. So maybe it needs to have at least 1 month of trading history or a certain trading volume. And Sugar has had amazing trading volumes, right? So it's you never know kind of what comes to their minds and how they select, right? It's a little bit erratic. And the most important thing is with the more compliant exchanges, you will not know whether they list you until a few days or even hours before they actually do the listing for
Yes.
compliance reasons again, right? Because they don't want front running of this.
It is interesting with meme coins overall because, as you said, not always the CTO or the person behind it is willing to pay it. But rather, for example, Binance, what Binance did with Chill Guy, they listed it for futures trading. So Binance had to buy Chill Guy to be able to offer it in their platform. And it is likely that if they enable spot trading, they will also need to buy more Chill Guy to offer this pool within their platform.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be easier for Binance to just
Oh, of
list
course it
spot.
is. Yeah, exactly.
um, Okay, Wing Arctic Wolf is mentioning, I think it's the same problem mentioned the last Tavern. So that's the unstaking problem, I guess. A Wombat wallet suggests wrong gas prices for Polygon. So, okay, that's what we're going to forward. Um, I know a guy. Um, Robert is asking, do you plan to support both Chrome extension and desktop app, or do you want to develop and support only one of them in the future? That's a good question. So in general, we really like the desktop app, and we would like more people to use it because it's a good product, right? At least that's what I think. And the extension, I mean, nowadays with the latest, could you mute yourself if you type?
Sorry.
With the latest upgrades to the Chrome extension system and so on, there are more things that are possible with Chrome extensions. So back in the day, we said, okay, the limitations of Chrome extensions because of how they are basically built, they don't allow for all the features that we want to have in a desktop product, right? Which is still true in a way, right? Because it's still limited. But I mean, if you look at, I don't know, my Ton wallet, that's already, like, to me, it's a much better product, or Phantom, than, for instance, MetaMask, right? But it's still kind of not really the direction where we wanted to go with Wombat overall, right? We want to have a richer product with more games in there, more direct integration. So I think we'd be leaning towards the desktop app more than towards the Chrome extension. We just don't want to kind of give up on the Chrome extension because it's still being used by a few tens of thousands of people on a daily basis. So I still really like the product. I still use the Chrome extension daily, essentially. So I don't know. It's maybe we should do a vote at some point whether we should spend more focus on the Chrome extension to get more people in there as well.
Solar, you can always plug your keys for us. I love a good mechanical keyboard. It is not mechanical. Maybe I type too hard right now.
I take off my pants and jacket. Any news on Tap Monsters? I wasted a year tapping that game to build what I have, or are they gonna launch something after play? Um, well, it's only been live for 4 months, but okay, 4.5 maybe, or 5. I don't know, like something like that. So not a year, but okay, that doesn't matter. So we just released the after such a long time, and we know that this took way too long. And I don't know, it's like we encountered so many problems with this migration, especially, that once we had started this, yeah, maybe in retrospect we should have made some different choices there. But now we're in a good position. So what happened is we migrated the game from the pure web technology, JavaScript, kind of it's probably still based on JavaScript at some point, but we migrated to game engine so that it's easier now for us to develop features. But that took, I don't know, way too long. It felt like a year. This migration, right? But so there was a lot of issues with that, and a lot of reasons why that didn't work the way we wanted to work. But we eventually got help, and we made it happen. So that was there, and now we released the training battles last week. I know that this might not feel like a massive, massive, massive feature, but it's actually pretty great because it already has a lot of the fundamentals that we need for PvP battles, right? So the mechanic for PvP battles, for actual kind of player versus player battles, are going to be the same. So no, you haven't wasted your time tapping. We're developing the game. We keep developing the game, and as we always said, we want Tap Monsters to be kind of a long-term available kind of thing and not die just because, right? So yeah, I think that's actually good. So we had this breakthrough. There's going to be a new release this week with more things, and so we'll keep enhancing this, because that was like these two big chunks. One was the migration, the other was the battle system, like the basic battle system, which is now there. So I think now we'll be much faster in making progress going forward. I'm really afraid already because I'm working on the start questions, but the live chat is to keep developing. So and we're so far back. I tried to skip something. Prince Paradox was on the KYC stuff, like in LOL, League of Legends, I guess. They did MAC filters and tried accounts to ban repeat offenders. Well, MAC filters are not technically KYC,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Also, in web, yeah, I mean it's debatable with MAC filters and stuff, but
AH
mm,
adventure game. What is that?
um, yeah, that's a thing that we had. I want to talk to you, Santiago, about it because I want to hear your opinion. It's something that we had developed like 60-70%, and then um, the whole market was changing, the whole situation was changing. So what we did when Spielworks acquired Atomic Hub was we made a Wombat X Atomic Hub collection with like a Space Wombat, right? And then we started building kind of a whole game around this, which was originally supposed to be based off of blending and like blends and drops. Um, but then we ventured into, oh, this is so cool from a kind of um, creative perspective that we want to make this bigger, right? So we said, okay, we need someone to actually make a little front end for this, because it would be a waste to just make it based off blends and like the tools that are available. And then we never got there, right?
Okay.
Because of all the other priorities. And so Robot is asking, like, what happened to this? Because we were promising people, hey, look, we're thinking about something really cool here. So I want to run that by Santiago and see what Santiago thinks, and then we'll definitely consider picking back up on this because it's like most of the stuff is really ready.
Oh,
All the
really?
narrative is there. It's really cool. Like the creators are really cool. We could basically just start setting up NFTs and minting them and see where
I
this
want to read
goes.
more about it.
Um, Let me go back. Oh my god, so much in the chat. Um,
Reading white papers is my new profession right now.
hmm. So there's been more suggestions regarding the kind of KYC equivalent, right? Have a bunch of people from the community who would basically look at some suspicious accounts and whatnot. I mean, that's cool. So Tiago may just
I mean,
organize
so
this.
people have been asking to remove the new pool or rework it. That's something that we haven't seen yet. I, as a general view, I haven't seen to read and to really analyze this because we had other issues. But I agree with you overall that it needs to be reworked. Are we working actively on it? Not yet, if I'm being honest with you guys. But I agree with it. So it will receive a boost, a buff, a nerf in the future once we get to it.
I take off my pants and jacket was saying this. What if we just have payouts for those willing to give basic info and no payout for those who won't?
No, I don't know why you want that done. This is Web3. We need to decentralize to make it more dynamic. Why would do you want to centralize the stuff so much? I also saw a comment about someone like, yeah, we should be able to block the NFTs of everyone. Not really. I don't want that.
Um, that's another problem in general in the market that you can buy KYC. I haven't seen the latest, but I know that back in the day you could get a photo ident for like 10-15 cents.
You
Um,
can get a KYC Binance account for less than $10.
um, it would be nice if, when caught breaking the rules, Wombat could like nuke accounts. so they get effectively dead. Um, the problem with this is that there's this thing called non-custodial, right? So we're officially like the Wombat wallet is a non-custodial wallet, which is why we don't have to comply with, well, we don't have to KYC everybody, right? Like, and we don't need a kind of very heavy license for money transmitter and whatnot. So, and custodian. So that's a good thing for most people because then it's much more lightweight to use Wombat to onboard and so on. But that means that as soon as you have an account, we cannot stop you from technically transferring your assets. Right? If we did that, then we would not be non-custodial. Right? If it requires our permission to actually transfer your assets, then well, we're not actually non-custodial, right? So that's a problem. We can't do that, right? We can't nuke your Wax account, like basically prevent you from transferring your assets. Mm. Okay.
People been buying KYC forever. Shit, I knew people 20 years ago that bought KYC from Korea to get early access to games. I remember when the last Call of Duty, it wasn't the last one, but it was Black Ops 3 was out. There were some codes to try out the alpha or the beta. And I got one of my best friends from the US to actually do the KYC and everything to get the code for me. And then we found out that people were selling them for like $50. So we did it with all his family so we could get the codes just to play the game. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Have you all done a collab with Alien Worlds? Since I Bullrug is asking. Once upon a time, getting your collection in DM was a big deal and brought eyeballs to both projects. But that has lessened as time has gone on. Yeah, and as we had pretty much anyone and everyone in Dungeon Master. Maybe there's another way to get those collections and their following to come back through a new collab method. Happy to hear your suggestions there. The problem is, in general, with collabs, they're great. We love collabs. But the problem is that you can spend an arbitrarily large amount of time and basically creative energy on designing them, right? So this like one of the simpler methods for us is always the wombation, right? We can do a woofy wombation, we can do a red mob wombation, and the yellow mob wombation, and the blue mob wombation. Shout out! I don't want to leave anyone out. Uh, and we can do a lot more wombations, but that's then everything starts all over again, right? How do you offer this? What do you do with it? But anyway, that's still fairly easy, right? Collabs like the ones we've had with Corporate World or with Byron and so on, they require even more effort, right? Because you have to think about, like, somebody has to think about the whole entire scheme of um, how things should be combined and yada
How
yada
do
yada.
you obtain it, the blending and the supply? What are the
All
requirements?
the
Yeah,
artworks, all the mechanics, and so on, right? So that is the limiting factor for collabs in general. We would love to do more, but we need to find a way of basically having schemes that work that we can reproduce so that it's more like in the sandbox, right? Where they have, or in Funko, right? It's in Funko, it's always the same, right? You obviously still need to have the artworks and so on, but they have people who are really good at that, who do nothing else the whole day, essentially, right? But they basically just slap the different IP on their Funko figures, and off you go, right? Um, and that's good. That's totally good, right? The scheme, the how the redeem scheme and so on, that's pretty much always the same, right? The packs look the same and so on. So it's we should probably try and find something like that so we can basically do collabs on a weekly basis, right? It's just that there needs to be a sustainable amount of effort related to it every time.
So it will be great because we also have the rewards chest, and we can give away these NFTs through the dungeon chest.
Yes, that's obviously true.
I mean, I mean, the way for collabing is through a blend, maybe through an upgrade. We have a lot of ways, but it requires first two persons to agree onto something and then work together towards that. So I'm always open to collab. If you actually have an idea, you're a creator, then reach out and we can set something up.
Um, Robot is getting creative here with the partner portal. I mean, theoretically, we can do that without the portal as well, but creators can stake Wombat or Play to boost mining power and distribute the mining power to templates, well, that we already basically have in the basic concept, and then be able to gain creator levels, which are providing more features like better or upgradable
Yes,
sidekicks, which is
that's
cool.
the
Providing NFTs for the daily chest, bigger collabs like blends, yada yada yada. It would be so cool if we could make this part of the portal, right? Where you can basically just build your own collab if you've reached a basic amount of staking or whatever.
people are evil. Send
If
a
you can't
campaign
nuke the wallets,
that can be burned. That is like a black mark. Holy,
um, yeah.
you're
Is there
evil.
access to Atomic Hub? That would be possible. Um, that's not an issue, but no longer withdraw from Wombat. That is an issue, right? Because effectively, if they can't access their assets without without asking us, then that's a problem. What we do is essentially, for instance, we take away their free transactions. That's what we do, right? So it's much harder. They would have to stake themselves in order to transact, which is already a lot harder to do. But
This reminds me a lot to OpenSea. When NFTs were stolen, you had to go with a police compliant to OpenSea and tell them to blacklist that NFT. So that NFT wasn't able to be traded on OpenSea. But what happened is that it was traded on every other market. And it usually affected the user who bought the NFT because when they bought it and then they wanted to display it or see it on OpenSea, then it will show as a blacklisted NFT and that it was stolen. When they actually didn't install it, they just bought it from the market and then they had the NFT like that. So it's complex and it's something that we
it's really
haven't
interesting.
figured it out and no marketplace on Web3 has figured it out.
Sensei Bulrug was following up on the sidekicks or on the collabs. Well, you had the sidekicks that provided value to the player for purchasing. Not sure if that drop was split 50-50 with collections that made the sidekick, but something like that would work for a Dungeon Master. Wombat could alternatively do something that involves featuring a collection, which will have a free drop only through Wombat Wallet to increase users as well as get a collection in more wallets and expand their reach. So we do free drops, right? We've been doing that, especially on Immutable KVM, because we have fairly little usage there. I mean, not just us; it's like overall, it's not that much of a massive ecosystem with tens of thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people basically transacting on every day. So I think that's good. We should do more free drops. I think free drops are great, but the problem there is kind of similar because you always need to add utility to the free NFTs, right? Nobody gets excited about free NFTs anymore, like in
Yep.
2021, where like people would jump on anything NFT related. Hey, I can get free stuff. Oh, cool! It's going to be worth 20 cents, $20, whatever. Um, Instead, now people are complaining that they have too many NFTs in their wallets, right? That are too that are worth too little, just like the things that we've been giving out from the chest at times, right? So I think we need to, like, there needs to be some more thinking about this. I'm generally, I really like all these concepts of, hey, there is something that you can get that's very, very basic, very cheap, and then you can blend your way up and so on, right? And then it just gets annoying when there's a lot of that, so you need to do a little bit of balancing, right? So just like with the air wombatium, which is pretty much free for many people, they can basically just buy, I still don't know about 100, but a few of those. But it's annoying to do that, to go through the process. Obviously, blending is similar, where if you have to blend a lot, then it gets annoying and so on. But anyway, I like that concept where there is one portion of something that you can only get for free in this one drop or trade on the marketplace for, and then there's something else that you have to get from elsewhere, right? Like a little treasure hunt, a scavenger hunt of sorts, right? So I think that's cool. But again, that all needs to be thought out, right? Like, what's the mechanics? It would be great if we had something with one collab, with one creator on this, and then with another, and then you have to blend all these things up, and then this does something. But this, whatever it does, something. Many times it just boils down to mining power, and that's not great, right? It shouldn't be always mining power. So maybe we should do an exclusive item. Maybe we should do the stamina
You scared
reduction
my dog.
gear. Your dog started barking. Maybe we should do the stamina reduction gear that is only that you can only get from blending certain things that you can get in the chest and elsewhere, which are collab items. So something like that, so that we create something new, but we don't actually, well, just bluntly drop stuff, or you can't find it in the chest just like that. But you have to blend it from other things or whatever. Maybe we should go one of these directions. And then, sorry, coming back to the sidekicks. So the problem with the sidekicks is that whether or not we had a 50-50 ref split with the creators didn't make a lot of a difference. I think it was 66-33 or something like that anyway, or maybe 50-50, I don't remember. But we had that. It's just that they were still not selling because, well, yeah, the mining power for their collections was too low or whatever, and then people didn't really do it, right? So then people don't really want these sidekicks, so they basically just get them if for the mining power side of it. So that's also why we ended up doing the last sidekick in packs only, not in direct drops anymore. So sidekicks need more utility, more
Love.
collection specific utility, right? For them to actually be a thing, for them to actually be popular. But yeah, sidekicks were one of these things. Speaking of blends, what happened to beefing up the gamer cave? That's still in the making. I know it's taking a ridiculously long amount of time.
My dog is crazy. Okay.
What's he crazy about?
I'm not sure. She's just barking next to me. I don't know what does she want. Well,
For those who don't know, Sensei Bullrock is the creator behind Faded Monsuta. Hello.
what?
You're a village people. Every season, make a raffle for collections by how much wombat play they have staked. So higher token stake means a higher chance, and one of these collections will get boosted by 10% throughout the season. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. 10%. I'm not sure whether 10% is going to cut it, though. It's got to be at least something like 50%, like the Overlord's choice,
100%.
something closer to that. Yeah.
By the way, guys, since there will be no Overlord, what do you think of boosting mining power of gems? Just a question that came by. My dog asked.
But do we already know that there's not going to be an
I mean,
Overlord? We
I
still have 2
extended it
days.
for 1 day, but I am thinking ahead.
don't distract people from trying to do the thing, the real thing.
Gotta prep for the turning. How are you doing with that, Sensei? So I saw Kevin, 90% of the users don't have a problem with stamina. I would say it is almost 99% of the users. So we'd run close to 5 snapshots to check how users were behaving with stamina. I found that the user who has the most negative stamina has close to minus 300,000 stamina. Yeah, that's the number. And when I saw it, I thought it was incorrect. But yeah, there's a user with minus 300 stamina, 300,000 stamina.
Okay. Robot, as since we have no decision, the old decision should stay Wombat Reborn charts. It is. Um, I think. I mean, Wombat Reborn is a great choice, but maybe we should have something where we basically have a similar mechanism that's community voted for collections that are not kind of issued by us, right? Because we've had that a little. So there was one play extra back in the day. Now we're talking about gems. I mean, that's all cool, but maybe we should have kind of two choices. Maybe we should have one that's one of the collections that are made by us, right? Or maybe we even do it on a per blockchain basis, right? Like we should rethink that system because I actually would appreciate if there was more dynamics in the spotlight for collection owners that are not us, right? So whether that's Faded Monsuta or there was other collections mentioned here, I think that would be cool. Or also the ones that we already had collabs with. You can probably hear my kids screaming.
Yeah, I think I
Oh my
prefer my
god,
dog barking.
it's intense. It's intense. It's been a
Oh
long
my god.
school day, and both of them have a cold. So,
Oh shit. That's annoying. For
um, well, but I think we should totally think about something there because yeah, we definitely need to emphasize more of these external collections. There's been hardly any incentive to stake anything else, but the stuff that we've been issuing. So either we definitely need to increase mining power, if at least temporarily. And you had some ideas and like that you were developing with that regard anyway, right?
yep, it's a
So what is
secret.
it?
No, it's a secret. Yeah. I haven't developed the idea enough. It's a secret. Until I figure it out. Bande minus 300k. No. Um,
So
so if we allow for it to happen within the game, then our duty is to patch it to provide a fix for this to don't happen, but we cannot really blame the person who took advantage of it.
um, just shout out to Sensei Bulwark and Faded Matsuta. I don't know exactly what's going on because I've been up to date, but apparently there's some really juicy prizes there. So definitely
It's
check out
okay.
Faded
We're
Matsuta right now.
surprises. That's good. Do you
So
know
Sensei
where else
Bulwark,
we're
where
giving
do
away
people need to
Wolfie?
go? Sorry, Solar. Where do people
Where?
need to go? Just
Oh,
post
you
a
can
link.
say.
Not sure whether they're allowed to post a link. We will post a link. So what did you want to say? Sorry, cut you off.
So, do you know where else are we giving away Wolfie?
Are we?
We have a waffle.
Do we?
Yes, we have.
I know about this. I've been trying my luck there.
How did it go?
You know me. I'm not a very lucky person when it comes to the wax on chain RNG. So not so well. But I have been buying some more um, mob wombatiums, making woofy wombatiums using atomic wombatium and blending into the woofle using gems. Luckily, I still had some chipped emeralds. They're the best
Good.
to actually. dump
do
into
this
dump into the wiffle and rubies.
224 blends, no, 229 blends have been attempted. So that's over 460, 58 mob combinations burned. That's close to 7% of the supply.
You're good at math.
Is it 7%? Let me see. Oh my god, it's 8%. It was close. How long before gem rollable? Okay.
You get yourself into something there. I told you. But then again, another time I told you and it didn't come true. But anyway. So what's the plan? You already
Shall
have a
we
plan,
talk
Santiago.
about the issue we have with this? Shall
How,
I tell you about my problem?
tell me or tell I take off
The
my pants and
users, the
jacket?
people, our beloved wombats. First of all, can you tell me all of a sudden why I can't buy a VIP Season 22 pass? I am VIP level 4 for a long time. I have been buying them for a long time now. It says I am not well listed. Can you set your wallet to Matt so we can check them out? Or you can send it over here and I will include you right away.
After you check whether Funko Lover is
After
really a
I check,
VIP.
of course. So, okay. Regarding the gems upgrading,
Getting back to gemmed robo molds.
Robomols. So, the way that we set up the upgrades due to the schemas that we created and the templates that we have, we cannot replicate it in the same way as we will do it with the profession sets. So right now the issue is that with all the items that we have, which are, let me tell you the number because I was already making the numbers. If it is for all the NFTs that have contribution XP, more NFTs and mining power, then it will be 142 items. 142 items will need each of them 5 blends set up, 5 upgrades set up, one for each type of gem, the flood, the normal, the flawless, and so on. So it will be over 500 blends. Have we figured out how to do it? Not yet. My suggestion at the moment, or what I'm leaning towards to, is to only allow legendary and mythic legacy items to be able to be upgraded. That will make it easier, but not way easier, because in that way they will be 57 items. So it will be still 250 upgrades.
The automation, we have automation for this. This is not a problem. I
Yes.
take off my pants and jacket. The problem is the vastness of hundreds of blends, of
Yes.
additional blends or upgrades on the
So
Nifty
even
page.
the Nifty user interface, I don't think it is optimized enough. Of course, because they didn't conceive that there will be one collection with over 500 blends.
Um,
So that's the current issue. As long as we figure that out, we will implement it.
Kevin Kev is saying regarding the Overlord. I still think you should have a new blend for the overall key and use the mob combinations to blend. Can even make it the first week of season start. I mean, yeah, we can. We don't like in theory we don't have to have the overall ready by today or by tomorrow or by season start to like whatsoever. But what you think about a direct blend from mob bombations into the eucalyptus bombation?
Could be. I think what will be the best. It's a nice suggestion, actually. What we could do is, if no blend is found during this extra day that we gave to the air combination, then we should set up a blend for the mob combinations to try it out for only 1 day or 2 days at most. I don't want this to extend too much.
Or I mean, you can also, in theory, you can also do it in parallel. It's just then you need to watch even closer once this has been blended. But yeah, that's
Yeah, true.
Kevin Kev is creative as always. Um, your village people was suggesting Adrian, not just me, it's also to others. like Santiago, please, your village people. I think if you want to boost a collection, make ticket drop and let collections owners who are interested purchase tickets from the drop. And after you make raffle, once with the winning ticket gets boosted, proceeds from the drops will be used to buy and burn player. Wombat voting always favors the whales. I like that idea. Um, I like that idea.
It's a good idea.
Kind of a raffle. Whether it would have to be the creators, I guess it would. We could. So I think it's actually fairly easy. We could sell them in Wombat
And
right
then
now
burn.
or play later, right? So that anyone who wants them needs to buy them in Wombat, so we can burn those Wombat directly, essentially. Um, and then um, we could have anyone essentially buy them, right? So um, it's a kind of it's a community thing, right?
Along with the Overlord. Okay, makes sense. Nice suggestion. I like it. Noted.
Um, what was this with the Overlord? Anyway, I think Arctic Wolf suggesting Solar, now you, Santiago.
Me, yeah.
On Wax, you can forbid transferring NFTs of your collection for certain people, and any other kind of restrictions like template or specific asset on Polygon on Ethereum, you can do the same. Just 90+% of people who make NFTs have no idea about coding and just do copy paste. On Wax, 99% because you don't need your own smart contract to create collections on NFTs.
What do you think?
Um,
I want to know your opinion of it on it. Because I know I already knew that you could blacklist any account and the smart contract of interacting with your collection. But what's your take on it?
Philosophically, about
Yes,
NFTs,
exactly.
um, I,
That's what I
I
want.
I hate the idea. I hate the idea. Right? That's why you do NFTs. Um, that's philosophically. Practically, I totally understand if you do that. Right? If you don't want certain things to be available for your assets. Look at USDC. Right? Most people don't know that USDC can actually be confiscated,
And
right?
use
Because
it.
that's a regulatory requirement, right? So individual people can effectively be prohibited from transferring USDC on Ethereum, let's say, right? It's horrible, but who cares, right? Um, so that's okay.
I agree.
Um,
Actually, that's my take as well. If NFTs represent real ownership, then blocking them right away is not really representing real ownership or decentralization in any way. So it is more difficult for us than it will be for someone centralized to do it, but I think we have to find better ways to do it.
that's an interesting one. I mean, to me, that's maybe two different parts. Rising Dragon. I can't invite my friend who loves Bitcoin to NFTs on Wax because of the issue Atomic Hub keeps having. Will Atomic Hub have a permanent solution, or is the team okay with temporary solutions every month and then? We're generally not okay with temporary solutions because they cause more effort later again, right? So it's not like we're saying, "Hey, we'll just patch this up and it's going to be fine," and then we'll see when we run into the next problem. That's never our intention. So we even did a massive restructuring of our node setup over the last few months, which nobody noticed, by the way, right? Uh, so so this was a massive restructuring because of some of the problems that we've been having. So the old problems don't appear anymore. So a lot of effort went into this, and now apparently we're having different issues. So we're not okay with this at all, right? We are looking to fix that. It's just a matter of like how long does it take. But the first part, I'm not entirely sure how you plan to invite your Bitcoin friend to NFTs on Wax, because I mean, maybe it's because you want to use a claim link, and then the NFT will not appear in their wallet right away. Or I would love to understand more about this, like what the problem is. Maybe there's something else we can do. Um, yes, the thing is actually about decentralization. People think they own NFTs the way, because that's also how they've been advertised, right? That they're basically owned the same way that physical objects are being owned, which is also like legally, that's a bit of a funny discussion, but practically, if you hold it, you own it, right? So, in like physically, right? So, there's no better proof that it's yours than you holding it in your hands, right? Unless it's something very valuable and should have a paper trail. And the only way on any chain is that the creator should lose the private key that owns the collection. Well, that is actually funny, but I mean that's why if you want to be truly decentralized, right? Then the creator, yeah, should actually resign. How do you say that? With tokens, like there's this term, right, where you basically give up control over the token smart contract. And with NFTs, one could have the same idea. If you know that your collection is done and complete, and you like next time you want to do something, you will basically just make a new collection. Then you can do that. Yeah. Um, um, okay. Whew, that was a massive stint of questions. I need a
Nice
breather.
question. So I like talking about this.
Maybe we should play a round of Twitchy Tides.
Yeah, we should.
A little breather. Best tavern in a while. Thanks, but
I
that's
also like this tavern a lot. We discussed a lot of several topics.
it's off season. People people have their minds free, right? So, um, but yeah, let's take a little breather and do a Twitchy Tides. I got asked by our team to not hand out as many rewards anymore because it's super annoying. Um,
Oh my.
so we'll go back
Map
to
got map.
packs and stuff.
Did you hear my pun?
Matt got mad. Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt
But
loves these ones. Um, why not raffle out private keys to Wombat Dungeon Master to the Wombat Master? No, like it's a really fun idea. It's a really fun idea, but that could be really
one like
dangerous.
and I leaked the keys.
um, I mean, this is one of the most secure setups that we have for these smart contracts,
Oh,
right?
it's very secure actually.
It's annoyingly secure, but that's what security is all about, right? Um, but just want to look at Wombat Master, which has 800, close to 850,000 NFTs staked, um, with an estimated value of 12 million wax.
Holy shit.
You don't want this to be available to, well, somebody,
Imagine
anybody.
having that power. It's like if he gets the keys and then he kidnaps the wax chain and he says, "Yeah, I need a ransom for this."
Wax chain? What? Sorry, I missed that.
No, that he just kidnaps the collection and then he asks for a ransom.
Look, Prince Paradox is a security specialist.
Oh my! What does CISSP and CISM stands for?
You can Google it up.
Let's see.
Certified Information Systems Security Professional.
Yeah, that's it.
Matt got tired from sending rewards. He must be burned out from looking after the community all day. Not sure where this what kind of suggestion it's supposed to give. No, it's just it was more like, hey, if you want to help us, don't hand out 50 things anymore to like the
Give a good
usual
reward.
three,
And
two,
that's
five. It's not really tired. It's not really complained. It's about helping each other's out. But we pretty much ran out of medals now anyway. So let's hand out some.
oh, we no longer have medals.
We still have a few, but not many.
I hope that by next tavern, we will have other NFTs, seasonal NFTs.
Okay. Oh, please refresh your browser. No, I
Oh
won't
my!
refresh my browser because then I don't know. Will people have to register again? I don't know. Next time. Next time, Twitty Chats. So if you haven't registered yet, type !wombat in Twitch so you can join. There's some cool new skins, at least as far as I can tell. So forest layers I haven't seen before. Paul Paragon and the team really inventing new stuff every week. It's crazy. Coins for Wins also has a wombat skin. Still so few people with wombat skins. Just Shiba Seeker and Coins for Wins every week. It's the same thing. Can you make an empty public key for your account? Like, no, I can't read this. All right. I'd say let's get this going. So, Jago, do you want to hand out
Gems?
some gems again, or
Shall we give away gems?
you're always in favor of giving out gems? Just
Yeah, I'm
saying.
always in favor of giving out gems. Yeah, we should give a couple of gems. Maybe run to each tides and give away 5 on each.
5 each. 5 each. What? 5? 5?
5 rubies, yes, and
5
5 emeralds.
like perfect?
8 rubies, not perfect.
So maybe some small packs.
No, I'm kidding. It was simple gems packs.
Okay, top five players.
I'll take them. As always, I will give you how many blends have been attempted. Give me a second.
Okay, we'll start the round in the meantime.
Okay, sure.
Still go with fast. There's probably new stuff in the new version. Gotta check next time. All right, so everyone ready? So we'll hand out 5 simple gems packs, and the top ranked player who's using a wombat skin will get another one on top. So 6 total. Cool, 45 players. We can do that. Let's go.
So we have surpassed 1.4k total blends.
This is a really cool skin by Flintality.
Which one?
This one here by Flintality.
Oh my. That's Plankton?
I have no idea what they are, where they're from, but they're cool. So Cons for Vince is the winner of the little wombat contest, and we already have our winners.
Oh, Vince
Yo,
was here.
Treku.
He didn't post anything.
GG's. So we've got the top five are Piotr Flantality, Daniel Angel,
And
Chucky,
Misty.
and Misty. And it's gonna be coins for Vince, who receive a.
I never won this thing.
Um,
Let's do something real quick. I'll send Adrian a number from 1 to 100, and the first person to guess it in the chat will get a simple gems bag. You can start now.
oh wow! So first of all, GG's
GG's, guys.
to all winners. So
Oh
you
my god,
sent
there's
me
a lot of messages.
send it to me on Slack.
I sent it to you. Yes.
The first person to guess it.
Yes.
No, we haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. You're close. Someone was pretty close. I don't see it. Have you seen it?
No, I'm still scrolling.
Okay, I saw it. I saw it. People will think this is rigged.
Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Lexi,
I,
is that
I
right?
already saw the winner.
Lexi Lex, is that right?
And I
The
saw
number
your
was
village.
35,
The number was 35. I don't
but
know if it
Lexi
was.
Lex was first on the 35.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there.
Oh, Lexi, you're right. I saw the comment from your village way below, and it was 35 as well.
Yeah, so the number was 35.
Congratulations, Lexi.
I can prove it somehow. Hang on, let me copy Santiago's message here.
I'm sorry, your village. I thought it was you.
So 35 it was. So GG's Lexi.
My village people are at fault.
Yeah, I mean, just copying others' correct predictions is cheap. So
100%.
are you gonna send so
Yes, I
I
will
think
buy it. I'll buy it and send it to Lexi.
oh you're buying it off the market or off
Yes,
the from the drop.
from the trap. Lexi, let's go to the casino today.
Well, that was
My
a
question is why
surprisingly fun
35? Is
game.
play launching on December 35? Oh my god, I gave away a clue.
It's wow.
I'm sorry.
December 31st.
Can you imagine launching a coin on Christmas?
Well, on Pump Fund you can.
I remember last year I bought a meme coin for New Year's. I think it was one of the worst meme coins I have ever bought in my life. Like it knocked right away by 90%.
Santa
Santa
coin. I mean
Christmas.
the Grinch. There was this Grinch coin launched on Pump Fun that I obviously had to buy into for whatever reason. I felt really attached to it. It performed horribly. I bought in at around what 20 million valuation. We're now at one. Whatever. It's like
Seems you can make an empty public key. You can just pass the ownership to EOS.
I guess this is EOSIO.now,
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, I guess. That's how Alcor hands the liquidity transfers. So if you want to burn it, you transfer it to EOS.no.
Yeah. That's that's the best. That's the best way. It's also going to be tracked by Wax on Edge, for instance. If you send tokens to ESIO.now, then they will be treated as burned. For Wombat, we don't do that because we actually prefer to having them burned on Ethereum, where there's like no if you know that none of the tokens that are on Ethereum can ever exist on Wax unless they also exist on Ethereum. It's actually safer to burn them on Ethereum, right? Basically, bridge them back
Okay,
and
good.
burn them on Ethereum, which is what we've been doing. Obviously, if any token gets burned on Wax, we can't transfer them back to Ethereum. But I prefer having kind of the single source of truth on one chain, not across multiple chains, right? So obviously, there are some tokens burned on Polygon, some tokens burned on Wax, and some tokens burned on Ethereum. But that's really if they're stuck in the bridge, then you don't. It's really hard to see that, right? That they will be stuck in the bridge forever. It's
True.
really hard to prove that. So, but yeah, on Wax alone. So if that's tokens that have been created on Wax, it's very good to send them to ESIO.now. It's the null address. It's like the 0x0000 address on Ethereum, right? Um, there, there is an official way of retiring tokens, but that's really bad. So this is the best way of burning tokens on Wax.
Christmas event incoming. Yes, we have a Christmas event.
Were you able to hire a senior social media manager? Or that's
Oof.
close. Like
Good question.
we got it down to, I guess, 4 people now. We had it was funny because when we posted this, I think we had 300 applications and within a few hours.
300.
Yeah, like a lot of applications. Like it's crazy. Um, but
Good.
hey, what are we doing for Christmas? Connie is asking the right thing. So
I said we will have a Christmas event.
you hinted at this. You
Yes, I
wanted to
said
do that. So what? When? What?
when, whenever we have the art. But the plan is already there. I want to tell you in private because first I want to know if it can be done. But I think
Okay,
it
so
is
we're
very
gonna
cool.
have a conversation after the
Yes, but
stream.
I think it is very cool. I like the idea a lot. I have never done it before. That's why I want to ask you first if it can be done.
Well, okay. So let's get off this stream and talk about this. Is Polish Christmas like Orthodox Christmas, January 7th? No. Polish are Catholics, right? So they celebrate Christmas on the 24th. Actually, 24th is really the day or the night, right? It's like it's not Christmas Day. That's being celebrated by most Europeans, I would guess. I don't know, at least in uh, Central Eastern Europe. I think Christmas Eve, yeah. But that's the big day, right? So it's like that's where you get the presents. That's where you have the big feast and so on, right? On Christmas Eve, it's not 25th. It's not Christmas Day. Oh, Connie, I love that as a
100
challenge.
years on Christmas.
I love that as a challenge.
Joke.
Luckily, here in Portugal, we have these tiny little bottles, these minis, which are quarter liter down to 200 milliliters. That's the smallest ones. It's ridiculously small beers. So I could imagine that's just 20 liters of beer over Christmas. 3 days, 20 liters, 7 liters per day, give or take.
You're good with math.
Absolutely doable.
You're good with
um,
math.
yeah, yeah. I'm getting a delivery. Uh, I'll be right back. You. Um,
Okay, I'll be
okay,
here
no,
with
it's
you.
okay. He just put it on my windowsill, um, which is great. Um,
Can you whitelist Funko Lover? I checked the list and it was already whitelisted. What's maybe can he try again? Because I was trying to add it during the stream, but the wallet is there. So yeah, just let me know and maybe we will
So
check.
it's NFT blocks tech. We're not the only ones. Yeah. Anyway, don't want to complain about NFT.
I already got excited for the Christmas event, actually.
But there's not a lot of time left. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean we have how much? 2 weeks. If we get the art in 2 days, then it can be done in 3 days. So it will be by next week.
How do you open presents on Christmas Eve? Santa doesn't climb down your chimney until Christmas Eve night. Well, for us, it's always been Santa actually rings on Christmas Eve. Um, and then when you, as like sometimes he actually comes in as a person. That's what my dad does with my kids and my brother's kids now, and he's like the loudest um, talking Santa ever. But that's cool. Before that, we sometimes had this thing where um, the doorbell would ring, so the kids would run to the door, and then during the time, Santa would actually come and place the presents under the tree. It's kind of always traditionally it's always been after it gets dark, right? So also in Poland there was a thing where you wouldn't eat throughout the entire day until it gets dark, or actually you see the first star, and this is when you start eating. And after dinner, essentially you would have presents. The funny thing is that um, it gets dark really early in Poland, right? It's like, especially in the Northeast, it's like sunsets at what, 3 p.m., right? Something like that. It's like really early, so it's not a big deal actually.
I love Christmas.
But it's an interesting discussion, right? How can Santa come if he slides through the chimney? But this is just like I think this is more of the American kind of thing, right? Where you say, okay, he slides through the chimney, and at night, uh,
We don't have
I don't know.
chimneys over here. So yeah,
Well, we do.
we have windows.
So why hasn't Krampus come to take your kids away? Because they're awesome.
I
Well,
just I just learned about Krampus like this year because there was a movie. There's a Christmas movie where the Rock appears. I went with my girlfriend and her little sisters, and it was all about Christmas and all the mythic monsters that are related to Christmas. Not a bad movie for kids. Even I think that it was interesting. So if you have little kids, you should take them to watch that movie. I recommend it.
I think it's this one, right? Red one with Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock Johnson. Yes, it
Yeah.
was good. Yes. Uh, for kids, they loved it. So I learned about Krampus that way.
Yeah, Knecht Ruprecht in German. Um,
How do you pronounce that?
Knecht Ruprecht.
Okay, I will refrain from trying to even pronounce that.
So is Adrian gonna wear a Santa suit if play hits minus? Okay, for sure. Totally. I'm saying
I
that
will
on
give
the
it to
record.
as well. Yeah.
Um, I would even go as far as let's do a challenge for next week. So I mean, there's gonna be like, I'm thinking maybe we should do a tavern 2 weeks from now on the 23rd, right? So that's gonna be the day before Christmas Eve. I think that's cool. That's decent, right? At least I'll be here, I think. So why not? And so I might actually wear a Santa costume on the 23rd if something happens in the meantime, and we'll come up with the rules for whatever will needs to happen until the 23rd. We'll announce the rules for that next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Full stream by Santa Adrian. Hot tub stream.
Yeah, we've been through hot tub streams and so
What
on.
is that leprechaun? I don't know what it's.
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun. That's it's these little green um
Oh, we call them
cope.
duendes.
Yeah. Irish drinking buddy. In German, Kobold. Exactly. I was gonna say the same.
I
Um,
can be Snow White. Okay.
it's getting better. Yeah, leprechauns are Irish. Irish. Right. Trying to. I am not good at accents generally. I can already visualize Santa saying "ho ho ho ho" on 23rd.
Duende. Yes,
Blue
it is
mob.
duende.
Blue mob is the best, and Santa Claus was originally blue.
You're not
Is
allowed to say that. That any mob is the best.
well, I'm just reading the question,
You're
the
not.
the
Okay.
comment. Like have everyone yellow and red mobs spray these kinds of messages if it's worth um, reading out loud. I will do that. But Santa Claus was originally blue, but then if Santa Claus was originally blue and now is red, then who's superior? That's what I was going to say, right? So which color would be superior? Um,
Saint Claus.
Saint Claus. Okay. Um,
Yellow mob just exists. Don't be rude.
Good King Wenceslas. Yeah.
I like the beef around the mobs.
Yeah, me too. That was an invention by Matt actually. Matt came up with the idea, and then we were like, "Hey, do we really want to divide our community into multiple parts? Is that really what we want?" And then there was a little bit of a debate, and then Matt said, "No, it's going to be good," and then he got his way.
You see, now we have people being positive in chat. I like yellow mob for being just slightly less awesome than blue.
So, but I think it's fascinating because last week we looked at the Mob Wombatium purchases from the drops, right? And this has flipped entirely. Now yellow is on second, right? There's 820.
So
Ah, no,
we
yellow
have
was already
some
second. I think
mob
red,
invasions
but
that have been
but
sold.
but red has caught up like dramatically, right? So they're almost the same now, and blue is just the most expensive because blue whale apparently is slightly higher in price, and so you can still arbitrage through the RVC token and basically get the red Wombatiums cheaper than the others. It's interesting that they were basically on par now.
How is Wolf Price doing? Have you
How
seen
is
it?
Wolf Price doing? Are we above one? By the way, we haven't been talking about Bitcoin 100K.
Happy.
And we shouldn't be talking about Bitcoin 100K because Bitcoin is down to 98. What the hell?
Okay.
Mm, it's crazy. Watching Bitcoin price is like,
Let's talk about Pokemon 151 instead. What's up with Pokemon?
Pokemon 151.
Do you like
Okay.
Pokemon?
I do. I played Red Edition on my Game Boy. So that's when I started liking Pokemon.
Which is your
I
favorite Pokemon?
um well, because I played Red Edition, I gotta say Charmander. Um so there's no way around it, essentially.
Okay.
Um but that's because I was young, right? And I got really attached. Um um but now my kids are playing, they love Pokemon, right? My little one, he sometimes only like, he says, I want to wear only Pokemon stuff, and he has Pokemon underwear, socks, and
Oh, that's cool.
Pikachu T-shirt and whatnot. It's really crazy. So my kids are loving it. I
So
recently started playing Minecraft with them, which is awesome.
that's so cool.
It's a lot of fun as well. And yesterday they wanted to try out Lego Star Wars, which at 6 and 3, which they are too young for Lego Star Wars yet. But it's cool. That's cool.
That okay by Solar was personal.
So
Which
which
okay?
one? Which Pokemon is 151?
Ah, oh, they okay. Spider-Man underwear. No, there's a fun story that I remember. My girlfriend never forgave me this because my favorite Pokemon is Giratina, but my second favorite Pokemon is Charmander. That's why I was happy that Charmander, Charizard, all the evolutions of it. So once for our anniversary, she gave me away a giant plushie of a Charizard. And my honest reaction was to be happy, but I said, "Oh, my second favorite Pokemon." And then she was like, "How so that it is the second one?" And she got so offended that I said that it was my second favorite and not my first favorite. So, and she never forgave me that. I told that it was personal.
Yes, and in Germany we have all these translations. So sometimes I don't know the English names for all the Pokemon because I always have to think. Because to me, Charmander is always Glumanda, and I can't help it.
No,
It's because in Germany everything gets dubbed, right? So even
Gloomy.
the names of the Pokemon get dubbed.
And what about
Um,
Pikachu?
Pikachu is actually Pikachu, but most of them are actually like literally translated, dubbed. So yeah, Charmander is Glumanda, and there's um, Shiggy is Shiggy, but Bulbasaur is no, I forgot the German name, Bisasam, and so on. Right, so it's ridiculous. German kids are really having a hard time internationally because they grew up with
It must
all
be.
these weird names, right? Wohin genau? um,
Bisa Sam, Bisa Knosp, Bisa Flor.
Lickitung in German is called Schlurp, and it's way too funny.
What is a
Schlurp.
Flor? Doesn't mean anything at all.
Shiggy, Shillok, Turtok. Um, exactly. Bisasam, Bisa Knosp, and Bisa Flor. This is Bulbasaur and its evolutions.
Oh,
And yeah. Shillok and Turtok is like
I think they are better
Blastoise.
in English.
Definitely. Like, I mean, I can't deny, but it is what it is. It is what you grow up with, right? The German Pokemon editions and also the TV series, they're all dubbed. So, what can you do? Okay. A lot of cool Pokemon and Santa and
We
Christmas
talk
talk.
about everything.
Um, this was a great fun
Good stream. I liked it.
tavern. If ever we had more time, we would do that much more often. Um, now it's time to see who we want to rate.
It's time to say goodbye. I love that card with the Christmas hat. Can we make it a meme coin? No, I'm kidding.
Flintality coin.
Plantality.
Okay, so Las Vegas Ape is already one of the suggestions. Cat in hat coin.
Cutting hat. What is cutting hat? Cutting hat.
This.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Anyone else but Las Vegas Ape? We can just rate Ape.
Do it.
Do it.
I think he has been streaming for a lot of time. Before I went to sleep, like 12 hours ago, I saw that he was live.
He probably took a break.
Great Beerman. Who is Beerman?
You need to use knock and share chat in Twitch to unlock. Raid Viriman. Who's Viriman? Art, crypto, NFTs, and more. Get into the Twitchy Tides Lagoon. So I see some people are already there. Some from our chat. Yeah, okay. So we haven't rated Veriman yet. I can't remember. So let's.
Can someone tell me who is Buridan? I mean, I expect you to tell me it's this cool guy that does XYZ.
I mean, he seems to already have like half of our community in there anyway.
Okay.
Okay, let's rate Veriman, and next week we'll go back to Ape. So if he's a really nice guy, then have
Thank you.
fun.
That's what I wanted to hear and to read.
So say hello.
Perryman is shirtless. Okay.
All right, then thanks everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. This was a very funny stream.
Thanks, Santiago. Thanks everyone, and see you next week.
See ya.
And have fun with Veriman. Say hello. Bye bye.